DeMar DeRozan moves the needle for us, meaning giving us an opportunity to make a run at the Eastern Conference Finals. I thought about this for a second. What makes this current team any different than the Atlanta Hawk team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 or 3 years ago?
Good point.
What makes us any different? Why can't we have play good basketball and have some of the same luck that they had going on that Eastern Conference run? So I just think, DeMar DeRozan is probably the piece that, if anything, I would like us to go get. I'm a big Dejounte Murray guy. I think y'all know that, but I'm not very high on him coming to the Knicks right now. Cat sounds good in theory, but for me, I would pass on him. I would rather us, wait for Mitch to get back and then, keep this thing rolling. But yeah, it would probably have to be DeMar DeRozan, who I think would actually move the needle for this current team this year.
Now, Flea, remember the last show when Dom asked, I brought up DeMar DeRozan because remember my point was it was possible. Remember, it's not going to cost us much.
Let me ask the panel something. Who's the best seamless fit?
Yeah, that's not DeRozan to me.
Right, and because
our offenses still have a lot of non-reliable three-point shooters. Even though me, I'm not a huge three-point guy, but is DeRozan a third wheel, second wheel, scoring-wise? Because still Brunson's team, right?
Right, but I feel like bringing in DeRozan, we would have the same adjustment period similar to the Clippers when they brought in Harden. Like, you see how y'all lost 5 in a row, couldn't figure things out. It took a minute. We're not as good as that collection of players, right? But I just think that would take a 10 to 15 game stretch for us to figure out how to incorporate him into the offense. I want him, but I know that there will be an adjustment period.
Hold on. Let me ask Dom this. So I disagree with all y'all. I think DeRozan or Murray would fit in perfect. Dom, your thoughts? Because we don't have a good shooting guard. Like, look at our shooting guards. If we could get a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", like I said, Murray lockdown defender. Like I said, a good shooting guard. He's better than whatever shooting guards we have right now. And then DeRozan being a vet, coming right in, one of the best at his positions. Dom, your thoughts? Why don't you think that would seamlessly fit?
Because, well, in Dejounte Murray's case, I'm seeing that people are starting to say that the Hawks thing didn't work that well. Like, he's not good as a catch-and-shoot player, I've seen. So, like, he's kind of good when you put the ball in his hands more, and he's already playing with Trae Young, and it seems like his stats are decent, though. But I've heard that Dejounte Murray has not been as great this year. I can't say I've watched a lot of Hawks games, but that makes sense to the explanation that he's not a good catch-and-shoot player playing as a shooting guard, basically, and he would be the same with the Knicks. And then I've also been hearing that his defense has not been as good this year, that he's not as interested nearly defensively, and not just from Hawks fans, from people that are watching besides that.
Because he's trying to put the ball in the basket too, Dom.
So hold on, Dom. All right, so our guards is Grimes, DiVincenzo, Josh Hart. Is Murray or DeRozan better than any of those guys?
Yeah, they're better than them, but as we said, it's about fit. Do you want a guy that can spot up and shoot threes for Brunson, or do you want another creator on the court? Do you not? If you don't care about spot up threes, that's fine, because then yeah, DeRozan. Because that's a big priority in today's game around your stars. Is that guy good enough to take the ball away from Brunson and create? DeRozan is good enough, but do you have enough spacing, I guess, in the modern NBA?
Listen, we would have to figure out,
That's when coaching come in play.
Right. We would have to figure out touches. We would have to figure out lineups. We already feel a certain way about Tibbs and how he mixes and matches his lineups and things like that. His substitutions patterns are shitty, and they've been bad since he's been the head coach for the Knicks. They've never been good. So now we got to figure out how to incorporate DeRozan without upsetting Julius and still allowing Jalen Brunson to be effective. Like, I guess that's a good problem to have, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I trust Tibbs to be able to figure out that problem.
Yeah, that's
tough.
A good point.
I don't know.
Well, Fabian, Dom asked a great question. who do you see that you think can fit right in?
What about Zack LaVine?
I'm cool.
No, I'm
It's
cool
gonna
with
cost
Zach LaVine.
Offensively, though, he would be a really good fit for your offense. He can catch and shoot. He just gives you, a little bit of a.
He does. He does. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't like what's going on in
the half
Chicago.
court. Yeah, I don't know. He's got that loser stench right now.
Nah, I listen. Fabian, no, I rocks with Zack LaVine.
You've been saying that a long time,
but I think at this point it's gonna cost too much. Like,
really,
like
but I think the Bulls might be a little bit eager to get rid of him with the way they've been playing without him.
I think.
Yeah, but all right, but it depends on what they're gonna want.
Grimes, McBride,
me too, you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think
it's Garpax though, right? Oh no, whoever the GM is now is not. I don't know, the Bulls organization, and no Jerry Krause no more. I feel like you might be able to fleece him.
We need.
I think if
I
think if you going for Zach LaVine, you got to get DeMar DeRozan also, in my opinion. And one of them, hold on. One of them, listen. To me, that's an all-out package. There's no way you're going for Zach LaVine and you're not telling me you're not going for the championship right now. These are veteran dudes already in the game. There's no reason to go after DeMar DeRozan unless you're going for a championship. That's the kind of pull that is. And if you're going after DeMar DeRozan, you give him a call in the conversation. You say, hey, what's up with Zach LaVine? You guys don't like him. We'll take him on, put him on the bench, and we'll trade Grimes. We'll trade Fournier because you have to go to the championship.
It's going to be a lot more than that with those two and how much they're getting paid.
Yeah.
Maybe, but we got to look at their contract. I'm just throwing it out there, meaning just saying that's an all-out package for this year and next year. And then when Mitchell Robinson's coming back,
why would you want to keep those two together after it's already been ass in Chicago?
I totally disagree with that. See, my thing is this, and I tell us to flee all the time. We have to be patient. Mm-hmm. When I say patient, I'm not saying 3, 4, 5 years. Right now, we get one of those guys and then on the off season, let's see what move we can make. And then we go into the next season, and that's our championship season. Because like I said, right now, if we get Murray or DeRozan or them guys, I think we can get to a conference finals or at least be competitive 6, 7 games in a good second round. But unless we get a Giannis and Embiid, a Joker right now that win a championship, but we get one of those guys in the next year, we see what we can do in the offseason because, like I said, reports from Woj, this is exactly what he said. Right now, New York is a hot spot. He said, but guys have to say, I want to go to New York. Remember, the players got all the power. This is Woj saying this. Mm-hmm. Once a superstar goes, I want to go to New York, or that's my top 2, 3 teams I want to go to. That's how things get moved around. So we really have to wait for that one player to say, hey, I want to go there. Until then, we just got to keep trucking along and making the right moves to continue to be sexy for these guys, Pauls, to want to come over and play for us.
JB is the guy that's going to make it like that, though, too. Brunson, how hard he plays, his approach to the game, his mentality, everything, right. He's going to be an all-star level player, right? Multiple times I see him being an all-star level player. You know how I am about that superstar word, so that's tough for me right now. But what I do feel like is that when you look at the Knicks, you're going to see them and be like, okay, that's a heady guard over there. You know what I'm saying? That's a guard that gets it, right? I would love to go play next to him, right? He gives a damn about everything, not just about himself putting it in the basket. I'm sure it is a very tough task to play next to Julius Randle. Like, I'm sure that's not an easy task. But right too. But he's making that shit look so easy and still allowing Julius to be him. And we winning games, right? I would look at this team differently if we were 10 games under 500, can't win a game, getting smacked around, can't stop anybody, but Brunson is around here dropping 50 and Julius is still great. Nah, they figuring this shit out and we winning games. So I really feel like, at some point, we're going to start to attract. I don't know who that is, but we're going to attract somebody.
Yeah. Remember, they out there is just, once again, man, I don't want to keep, beating the dead drum, if that's the right phrase.
Yeah.
But you got your mans in them over there, clutching them. Bro, it's a lot of hate. Lot of suckerness, lot of weird stuff going on with New York. Because let me just say this, and I'll let y'all go. If I'm an agent, right? New York is the one place you're going to get your money. You're going to become a legend. You're going to be a star for the rest of your life if you come to New York and win. You see how we treat guys like Starks?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That is Fabian's point. Yes.
Look, Jalen Brunson right now. He's like God now.
Thank you, Dom. Come on. So to me, that's the pitch right there. Yo, bro, listen. If you go to New York and win, even if you don't win, if you get to the conference finals, not even the finals, bro, you will be a New York legend for the rest of your life. What more do y'all want? You not getting that no other city.
Zack LaVine. I think if Zack LaVine was on the Knicks, I would change the big four in the East to a big five. Honestly, I would put you guys. I really think I don't know. I'm hoping with Zack LaVine, new situation revives his will to compete on a consistent basis. Young King said, "How would DeRozan space the floor when that's the biggest issue for the Knicks in the playoffs?"
Yeah, I was looking up Young King. I was looking up his stats. He doesn't, because he came out of nowhere the last 2 seasons, and he's always been that fake kind of scorer, and you just wondering, like, why isn't it inspiring?
Mm-hmm.
That's like Ant-Man last game against us. That's what Zack LaVine's points always feel like. Like, what? Pause. Like, all right, 35 and 45, and who cares?
You know what would be nice though about DeRozan is I feel like he's always been the number one scorer on his teams, and we know he can't be the number one scorer on a championship team. He's been a number one scorer on a conference finals team. It would be nice if he was the clear-cut number 2 for once. I thought going to Chicago he would be that, but LaVine never really took the reins. It was like he would defer so much, and DeRozan still had just more of that confidence as a scorer than Zach, that consistency.
Dom, if Zack LaVine comes to New York, he's the second scorer or the third?
Probably the third, right? Whoever's coming in would be the third. That's why I'm saying DeRozan, I think he should be a top 2 scorer on his team. I think the third because he's going to be off the ball a lot. That's why I mentioned the spacing. It's not like I don't think DeRozan can win a championship because of the spacing, but he can't be a number 1, and I'm not loving him as a number 3. I think a number 2 would be good for him. If you guys had like a floor spacing big man, then I would have less reservation, but you don't. But I'm okay with Mitchell Robinson, like a center, not being a spacer. You know what I mean? Yeah, Robinson does a lot of good things on the court.
Yeah.
But Randall, every team starts like Randall's one of the few guys that starts on an NBA team right now that's the size of like a power forward from 12 years ago. Like we start Kawhi Leonard at the 4. He's a 3. The Sixers start Tobias Harris at the 4. He's a 3. The Celtics start Tatum. He's a 3. So it's just a small ball league. But Randall, you take the good with it, how strong he is, but he's not the best shooter. So that's why I say that. He says, I'd only agree with DeRozan if you got rid of Randall, but you're here wanting 2 playoff chokers who can't even shoot threes consistently in the regular season.
I mean, that's I can't. He's right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with DeRozan. I'm gonna call him DeRozan. That's an expiring contract, also, and
okay.
Yeah,
expiring this season.
Yeah, he's a rental. So
we can knock that off our books.
I would take the risk. If I were the Knicks, I would take the risk if it's up for cheap, honestly, even with the spacing concerns. I would.
But can I ask you a question?
Books.
In DeRozan's career, has he ever been given a legit shot with a good team to like really make something happen?
Well, I'm saying he's always been the number 1 option. As the number 1 option, you're not going forward, bro. He's underperformed at the biggest stage.
All right. Okay.
I mean,
hold on. So I'm sorry. Where is the DeRozan thing stemming from? I don't
know what that
clearly comes from the fact that he underperforms in the playoffs every year. That's why
it's those multiple seasons in Toronto where they get right there. Like it's a little bit of both. They get right there. He may not play well in the conference finals, but you're going and then you're going up against LeBron James.
Fab, you my guy, but you smoking if you think getting Zach and DeRozan is a good idea. That's suicide.
Yeah, I rethought my position, Young King. I retracted. We're back to retractions. We have to get back to retractions, AllBall.